Peace. This is Black Light, Cyberspace Ministry, and I'd like to thank my subscribers and my regular viewers for checking me out. I appreciate that because I believe I have something worthy to contribute to our, I don't want to say struggle. I want to say I have something worthy to contribute to our future rulership. I know we're going to rule, ain't no doubt about it. But I hate to see us, suffer for not opening up our minds. A long time ago, I was between 18 and 22. I went to I didn't go to school. I dropped out of school at 16. My mother and them kicked me out the house because I didn't want to go to school. So, I did this, did this and that and the other. I didn't want to work though. I wanted to hustle. And I wanted to pimp. I wanted to do some slinging drugs, weed, and all that stuff. But I didn't want to disappoint my mother and father either, because I really didn't have to do that. But they was the type that, they didn't want to spoil me. They didn't spoil me. My mother and father, even though I was the only child, they didn't spoil me. I had to work. I started working when I started making money when I was 8. Doing this and that and the other. Selling stuff and, not no drugs and nothing, but selling papers, papers and magazines and stuff like that, and other things I did. So when I was kicked out of school, they had a program available, and it was a place called McAfee Skill Center. And so we went in there. You could pick the skill that you want, but you had to have some GED training too. And they'll pay you to go there. They used to pay us to go there, because this was after the riots, And so they paid us to go to this skill center, and I picked meat cutting. And so, to make a long story short, it was an older brother going there because he wanted to open up a meat cutting business, a butcher shop. He wanted to open up a butcher shop. It was all blacks going there, and it was over at I think Southwestern High School. And the brother, he was older than us. He was in his 30s, and we was in our late teens and early 20s. And while we were cutting meat one day, we was practicing. We had a quarter of a cow we was cutting on, learning a new cut. And he discovered this sack in the cow. It looked like a hand, and it looked like snot, And he cut it out and took it and had it examined, and found out that it was a cancer. So we also found out that the meat cutting school was a front, and they would sell the meat to low-income communities, and where the blacks was at. They would sell the cancer's meat to the the black community, and sell the good meat to the white community. And we found out, and we was documenting all of this under the older brother's supervision. We found out that the USDA, the inspectors, would turn their heads the other way, you know, because they get paid. The farmers, the ranchers, would pay the inspectors off, and the cows that they were shipping to the black community were dead cows, you know, that strayed away, you know, on the range somewhere and died of all kind of diseases and stuff. We found that out, see. So we sued the school. We sued the instructor because he was the main one hooking all that up, you know. We sued the instructor, and we didn't get too much money off of that, you know. What we got was extended extended training course with pay, you know, because they was paying us. So it was only supposed to be a 13-week training course, but we got almost a year out of it, getting paid, you know, to go to school and learn meat cutting. And they fired him and got another white guy up in there, and he wasn't no better. He was just a little slicker, you know. So I was going through the channels of YouTube, and I ran across this channel called Pro Melanin, and I seen this white scientist admits black people are being targeted, being targeted, and I seen on his video naturalnews.com. So I want to relay this to y'all, to my brothers and sisters. Now, when we discovered that there was cancer in the meats being shipped all through the ghetto, that was back in late 60, 69, and early 70s, like 69, 70, 71, 72, you know. And we was all on the news. You could look into, I think it was either channel, what that brother name was, Woody, I think it's Woody Woodard, you know. And it was a black news reporter that covered us. And we was all, the whole class was on TV here in Detroit, you know. And that was the beginning of my first black activist. And after that, I started just going through different groups. Although I was born into the Nation of Islam, you know, I wasn't hanging out with them at that time. I was hanging out with other Panthers and other different black national groups, you know, and doing my thing then. And I was, you know, I was about in my 20s, you know, late teens, you know. So I'm saying all this to say this, you know, that's been going, look how long that's been going on. You know, it's been going on, and I'm 70 years old now. And that's been going on all this time. Then later on, I got with, when I was a little older, in my 30s and 40s, I got with this brother Malik Shabazz up here. He later was a Panther, but at that time, he had his thing called the New Garvey Movement. And we used to go up in these stores, you know, and we found out that they only had one food inspector for the whole state of Michigan. And we go up in them stores and see dead rat parts and whatever in the ghetto, and we shut that store down, you know, here in Detroit. That's documented. You could look in the news on the TV and you'll see Malik Shabazz heading this up. And he been doing that for a while. And one time I was with him, you know, and his movement, you know. So, you know, I'm still on my post though, you know, even though I'm rolling solo, you know. I'm not retired. You can't retire from the soul soldiering. You can't retire from that. You gotta help your people, you know. Because when you help your people, you're helping yourself. You're helping secure your offspring. You know, I got grandsons and granddaughters and great granddaughters, grandson, and I seen the dumbing down and our people come to a halt, man. Our people ain't into black power no more. They into that green power. And so that's why we gotta tell them that the green power really ain't no green power. It's debt. It's green debt, you know. They don't understand that because they could go out here and buy stuff now on credit or whatever, and all they know is they looking good. You know, I'm looking good. I'm looking good. My crib is looking good. I'm riding, looking good. I got a fine woman on my arm, you know. So I know, you know, money make the man. Man don't make the money, but the money make the man, see. So this is why I'm doing this on YouTube. And, you know, it's not a socializing thing with me. You know, because talking really, all this been said before many times, many ways, man. We don't need to be philosophizing now. We need to be getting up our troops, you know, getting ready to take, you know, take control of this situation, man. So we need committees to go up in Flint, a 1,000,000-man march up in Flint. And they trying to get Snyder off the hook now, man. They got him on news every night. You know, got him on Snyder on the news every night. You know, he ain't apologized. He said he ain't done nothing wrong. And it's like damage control. You know, the news is doing the damage control on you. It's Black Light Out. Be right back.